Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at each individual life path forecast for the month of April 2023. Before we get into the forecast, this, of course, is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading where we'll take a deep dive into your own numerology, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at April real quick. So April 2023 is a 2 universal cycle. And what that means is that universally, collectively, we will all be feeling the influences of this 2 energy. So what this could bring about is the need for balance, things coming to the surface that are out of balance, whether that's body, mind, spirit, or with relationships, things that have just felt out of alignment, coming to the surface for review to bring back into alignment at this time, or at least start that process, right? This energy is also asking us to become the observer, to stand back and really not get too emotionally invested in a situation that we don't need to be emotionally invested in, but rather take a step back, take a look through a broader lens and see, are we thinking too rigidly about something? Are we overly invested in something? Are we overextending ourselves in a situation that we don't need to be? Or again, are we overly involved in a situation that we don't need to be, which is therefore leading to resentment or frustration or stagnate, whatever, right? Whatever being overly involved or being too immersed in the situation, if it's causing imbalance, then again, this is going to be a month where standing back, being the observer, seeing things from a broader lens will benefit us. This energy will also ask us to be more decisive and discerning in who we choose to invest our energy into, what that looks like, what we will compromise with, and again, making decisions. So there may be events this month collectively where things come in and we need to make a quick decision, and it doesn't really necessarily give us time to second guess ourselves or to weigh the pros and cons. We have to trust our own internal guidance system and the information that we have that's presented to us and make a decision. And then once we make that decision, we have to give ourselves grace to understand that in that moment, that was what we needed for ourselves. And so again, deal with the consequences as they come up from that decision. Maybe make different decisions moving forward if you need to, but don't beat yourself up about it, right? Trust yourself and trust that the decision that you make in that moment is what is best for you in that moment, right? And all involved. This can also be about channeling charged emotions. So the 2 energy can sometimes bring intense emotions or deep emotions, so to kind of be moved through. So it can be a charged energy, right? And so you might find that you're easily triggered over something, or that you feel deep emotions about something. This is a month where emotions could be coming in very strongly. And so sit with them, move through them, work with them, honor them, but be mindful of how you express them, right? If you become overly agitated or overly aggressive or something like that over a situation, that's going to influence, if you're not in control of those emotions and that charged energy, that's going to potentially dictate whether you react or you respond to the situation, right? Which then will dictate the experience that follows. So this month is really asking us to get in more awareness when it comes to our emotions, and as well as how we want to work with those emotions and that charged energy, because emotions are life, right? We are feeling beings. We are meant to feel emotions. It's what we do with those emotions that makes the difference, that creates the experience. So this 2 energy coming in collectively is really going to be asking us to take a closer look at that and take responsibility for how we express those emotions, right? Not meant to avoid them, not meant to suppress them, none of that. We are emotive beings. We are meant to feel. So, but again, it's in the expression that makes the difference and that determines the experience. And so this month could bring up some things that might trigger us, that might force us to look at the emotions that sort of are more in control of us. so that we can get a greater handle on that and work with that energy, that charged energy, and channel it into something positive. This can also be a very highly sensitive month where things that might not have affected us in the past are a little bit more quick to bring about some kind of reaction, right? Or response. And so just pay attention to what's yours, what's not yours, because again, it's a highly sensitive period. And so we could be picking up on things emotionally or get a sense for things that affect our mood that may not even be ours to carry. And so just keep in mind that it is a highly sensitive period. So don't get too attached to what you're feeling, especially if it's not yours, right? And again, relationships could come into the focus this month. So mending or healing of relationships that are still meant to be a part of the journey. New connections coming in. So new soulmate connections, friends, family, pets type thing could definitely be coming in this month. And these are often relationships that are serving a greater purpose. So some kind of soul contract coming in potentially to assist us on our journey. So pay attention to the people that you meet, or again, the pets that come into your life at this time. We could uncover a new way of relating to others that serves us better and serves others better, right? So a new way of looking at relationships and how we relate to others could absolutely be coming in collectively this month. So again, pay attention to those people that come into your life or the people that resurface in your life and what they're trying to show you. What is their divinity trying to teach you, right? Through their own wisdom and through what they trigger within you type thing, or what they bring you that's beautiful, right? And so how we can learn to accept that beauty as well. That's a big part of relating as well. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at each individual life path number now for the month of April. Life path 8. So I pulled an animal wisdom message for you all for April, and you got moth energy. And what immediately comes to mind with this is if you think about the moth, right? These are like the nighttime butterflies, right? So the moth is attracted to the light because that's where the nutrients are, right? So they'll go to the light, they'll eat the bugs, they're happy, they fly away, right? But they have to be very discerning between what's light that's going to nurture them and provide sustenance and what's light that is going to burn them, right? Like say if it's like a flame or one of those zapper machines or whatever, right? So there's like this level of like discerning that needs to come in as well, or level of discernment. And so for moth coming through for you all eights, there's definitely something here about using your discernment, using your inner knowing, and your sort of ability to read the room, right? Or read the person, to make sure, or at least to have a good feeling about whatever this is, right? This person, this contract, this business endeavor, whatever it is that you're potentially going to say yes to, whatever this light is that you're moving towards, just take your time, just be discerning, because there may be, it may be valid. There might not be any loopholes or anything hidden behind, there might not be any shady business, but it's also possible that it's a fire or a flame and it's gonna burn you. So I would say this month, definitely follow your intuition. You're very intelligent. You're very tuned in. Use that. If it feels shady or it feels off or something just doesn't feel right, get a second opinion or just take your time. Just say no for now. Do some further research before you commit. Anything that you're looking to commit to this month, I would say if it feels aligned, it feels good, you're excited, go for it. 8 energy is all about taking risks. So there's always the potential with 8 energy that is going to be a light of sustenance or is going to be a light that burns you, right? That's just part of 8 energy. But this month, with moth coming through, there's some things that are hidden. There's some things, or potentially, right? There's some things that are in the dark that might seem like a get rich quick scheme, or might seem like the next be all end all type thing. And that might be the case, right? And if it feels right for you, do it. Take the risk. That's straight aligned with 8 energy. But if it feels just a little off this month, just take your time, right? Just do the research. Just really dig a little bit deeper for those real truths, because it's possible that there might be some connections or some kind of legal agreement, contract, something like that, that just isn't quite right. And so trust your instincts. Now, for you all, you're working with 10-1 energy this month. Of course, you're still going to feel the influences of the 2, right? Because that's the collective energy. But for you all, you're really working with this 10-1 energy, which is really bringing it back to self, for taking the initiative, being the leader, finding where there's an issue and then coming up with some kind of resource for that, and you're creating it. This is energy for finding your confidence, finding your voice, going after what you want, standing in your power, all very similar to 8 energies. It's a very ambitious energy. It's about big new starts, big new risks. I would say with those big new risks though, just remember moth energy, and if it feels off, there probably is more to the story and you just need to do a little bit more of investigation. But with the 0 energy, right, because you've got 10, 1, with the 0 energy, there's something here about a clean slate. So if something fell away last month, if something was removed or closed out, right, or completed, this month is about starting something new to fill that gap, to fill that void. And so the beauty of this is that it's 0 energy. So it's a clean slate. You get to decide. You get to dictate what it is that fills that space, and you get to create it. And with the power of the 1 and your life path energy of the 8, you are very much equipped to do it. The 1 energy brings the fire. It's going to bring the confidence, the courage to say yes to whatever it is. And it's probably something that maybe you've been thinking about for a while, but haven't felt ready, or which, when are we ever ready? But, or maybe there were some puzzle pieces missing, and this month those puzzle pieces come in. And so you may have to face some fears around this, because again, 1 is very big energy, as is 8. So you just have to kind of, again, if it feels right, if it lights you up, if you're excited, go for it, right? But if it feels a little off, just investigate it a little bit further. Just get some second eyes on it. Just make sure that everything looks kosher. But this month for you all could be about big new starts, fresh new starts, having big ideas, or just having ideas, right? They don't have to be big, but having ideas and doing something with them, planting those seeds and then nurturing those seeds and then, helping them to grow type thing. This is like visionary energy, coming up with the idea and then making a plan and then going after it and getting very, very focused, right? The 1 energy is very focused, and it's going to be about you going after what you want. So there may be an opportunity this month for you to get very serious about that and really do some contemplation, like self-evaluation, to see, what is it that I want? What do I really want, right? And how can I create that? And how can I create it in a way that it can have a greater impact on not just myself, but others, right? So a lot coming in here around, if there's an opportunity for you to say yes to something, even if it scares you, this is beautiful energy to do it. It works so beautifully with your 8 energy. If you've been having a big idea, but there's a little bit of fear there or hesitation, obviously explore why there might be that hesitation or that fear. But if it keeps coming in for you, this, under a 1 energy, this is beautiful energy to say yes and get started and just take the first step or the first couple of steps. Get focused, get serious about whatever this is, and start to make it happen. Big energy. Just remembering that you have a clean slate in some area of your life. There's a clean slate that, you have all the colors to work with. So what are you going to paint? You get to decide. The key or the job for you is to say yes to it after feeling into it, right? Just because moth energy came through. So it may be that there's something there that's trying to distract you from something, some greater truth. So just kind of pay attention to that as well. But this month, don't feel guilty about going after what you want, after taking the initiative, being assertive, asking for what you need, stepping into that leadership role, stepping into that spotlight, doing something, maybe you wouldn't have normally do that's a little bit different. It's okay to try something, not have it work out, and then shift gears. That's totally fine. And as an 8, that's going to be like a journey for you. It's going to be a lifelong journey. So the more you can do that, the better. And the 1 energy is helping you to do that. So big, powerful energy, especially for new starts this month for you all 8s. So take advantage of it. All right, take care, everyone. Bye for now.